Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boomba on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. Today, promise you a very interesting one. It is TGIF. Yep. It is the TGIF edition of the Boomba this week, and we're going to be talking about quite a number of things. As usual, there's a lot of gist here and there. There's a bit of business news. The federal government NLC are at it again. President Tinubu is traveling again. We talked about it yesterday, but there's actually a new spin that I think that we should talk about. Football season is back. We're going to be talking about that as well. Also, the D Tigers are on there's Afrobasket going on at the moment, so we're going to be talking about that as well. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. My name is Dolupo, the one and only, and with me in the studio today, as usual, is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank God it's Friday.
Okay, so we're getting straight into the gist for today. First things first, the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, who normally gives us gist, dropped the gist a few minutes ago, saying that Nigeria's inflation has fallen again to 21.88%. That's supposed to be a good thing, if I'm correct. But would we really say that the price of commodities have reduced? Personally, for me, I'm not sure I would say they've reduced, but one thing I can say for sure is that there is not an astronomical increase. Things are still expensive, but it's not like things have moved up.
Yeah, so according to the experts, the stability in the Naira is responsible for some of these numbers that you're seeing and hearing about. While a lot of us are still stuck in the past where the Naira and fuel was being subsidized by the government, we have now been told, that because all of that is not happening anymore, the ability for the Naira to stay stable at whatever astronomical heights, and I use those words loosely, those are my words. That's why things are now easier for investors to come in to Nigeria, knowing that, okay, this is the rate that their forex has come in, and something around that rate is what they can get back when they want to take profit. And
so it's more of stability than the cost.
So stability now leads to these things like a ripple effect. Like, for instance, manufacturing can now increase. If manufacturing increases, then prices can now go further down. Competition can start. If, for instance, there are Nigerians in the diaspora who want to invest in Nigeria, and they look at, say, real estate. Now they know that if they're bringing in $1 million, it's X amount. They know the cost of production and they know their projected revenue. You get? So that is what's happening. But one of the smartest Nigerians that ever lived and still lives, Madam Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, pointed out something that I think the government is trying to do or planning to do, but I don't think they've done well
enough
in that regard. The social safety nets and all of that. The interventions that have that direct effect on the people.
To cushion the effect.
Yeah. For instance, this women project that the WTO and another body is sponsoring. Nigeria is one of the 4 countries in the world where the pilot project is starting from. And those are the kind of things that we're talking about. The ability to, create a platform for people. So over 60,000 Nigerian women applied for those grants. And I think about 1,000 or something of them are getting it, or have gotten it as of today, or will be getting it. And some of them are existing businesses that can now scale. Some are new ideas that need to come in. And those are the kind of interventions that we're talking about. Something that's impactful, because those women those women are definitely going to use.
They have families.
Because now there's going to be training, there's going to be other things for them. There's technical
there's a ripple
support.
effect of those things as well.
So we need to look at those sectorial things. And I think that's one of the things that the government had done with NEL Fund. If you look at it, objectively, the fact that over 400,000 Nigerian students have gotten
their fees paid
by the government and are also getting monthly stipends from the government. What that means is that it eases off pressure on their parents. Some of these kids are from, there are multiple students from one home. You get?
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's another thing.
That's another angle to it. And you look at all of this and say, this is fantastic. Some people are even getting a backlog of what they are spent with the promise that they pay back when the time is right. Those are the kind of direct impacts that we are talking about.
They already started the one for the
now
lecturers as well.
Yeah. So there's one for not just lecturers now, people in academia.
Yeah.
The academic staff and the non-academic staff can activate as much as 10 million naira non-interest loans, and they are encouraged to actually do things to earn additional funds for themselves. I think these are the things that we're talking about. We saw what they've done with CNG for some transport groups, especially the organized ones, some of the cab hailing services and all of that. Those sectorial, interventions are the things that we're talking about.
That would have immediate impact.
We are just going to say that it's not enough. Yes, that's where the problem lies, and I think that's one of the things that Madam Okonjo-Iweala was pointing out.
So we hope that the federal government will look into these things and have more impactful, even as they put these things out, that it would actually get to the people that need it. Because if you understand the way the budget works, when that money is allocated, it's already there. It's now a different conversation if the people that are actually meant for, if they get it or not. So I hope that there will be things that, like the example that I gave, NEL Fund, there's no conversation of, the money is paid into your school account straight. Those kind of things that you're sure that people actually get what it is that you had earmarked the money for. Now, moving on from that,
I'm still on the matter of inflation dropping. Statistically, it has dropped, and year on year, it's actually a huge leap. If you compare inflation for this time last year to this particular period in 2025. At least the month in review will be June and most likely July. You get. This is a welcomed, and actually this is the fifth, de-inflation in this year alone. So this is the fifth time that the number has moved positively in favor of Nigerians. One of the reasons why we might not even still feel this positive impact is, I think now it's on government's failure to regulate pricing of items. People who were complaining about the high cost of importing certain materials, and now that some of those things have gone down, or the high cost of the prices don't go down.
Will not go down.
I
get your point.
They're saying, the reason why eggs went up is because of feed and the cost of maize, and you see the drastic crash in maize. Over 70,000 or so shaved off a ton of maize or whatever.
And you wonder, okay.
But the price of eggs keeps rising. So what exactly is the excuse now? It's transportation, but the price of transportation has been consistent. It's not like it's gone up again. Do you understand? And even that one should have gone down because of some of those things that they've done. So these are the issues. If they can move from planning to actually monitoring the middlemen, the go-betweens, the off-takers, if they can monitor how they are fixing their prices, maybe we can start feeling that direct impact of goods going down.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that quickly, let's go to the gist of the president. The president, we had talked about it yesterday, the president was going to Japan and Brazil, and interestingly, However, if you look at the statement from the presidency closely, he's going to Japan. I think where he's going for, I think is August 20th to 22nd. That's when he's supposed to be in Japan before he now goes to onward transfer to Brazil. And then I think he's back on the 25th or 26th. I'm not sure. However, today is just the 15th. They now say he's going to the UAE. There's an itinerary of what we know he's going to do in Japan and Brazil. What's happening in the UAE for 5 days?
Yeah, they actually mentioned it. It was part of that press release from yesterday. Maybe it just caught your eye now. They had said that it was going to detour, go through.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they didn't say it. I'm saying they explained his itinerary for what's happening in Japan and Brazil. What is happening in Dubai?
Yeah, I don't know too. I don't know. It's something that they have to answer by themselves as government and all of that. Okay, this is why. But, your guess is as good as mine. I think that it tends to take some of these trips majorly for maybe health reasons or for mini holidays and maybe still walk and rest. I'm assuming since they didn't put out the information that we require. Do you understand? Because ideally, the president is now more or less like government property. So you should know every step of the way where your president is, why he is there, and what he's doing there. As against why should he go in the first place?
Yeah, because if it's not like a state thing that's happening in Dubai, whatever is happening in Dubai can't see happen in Nigeria.
Exactly. So these are the issues that whatever it is, but except it's shrouded in some form of secrecy.
And the funny thing is that the way if you actually read that statement, if you don't look, you literally just gloss over it. There's making a detour in Dubai. You would think maybe it's a stopover in Dubai.
But it's a couple of days, and that's
5 days.
Yeah,
not a couple.
That's a couple of days, Dolupo.
I know, but you get my point.
Yeah, you should get mine too. It is a couple of days, and there has to be an explanation for that. And these are some of the mistakes that I think their communication team makes when putting out statements. If you do not, break things down for people, because the thing is, even some of the things that you broke down, they will still twist it. So why don't you set the agenda by giving people the right information that they require, so that they don't have to go fishing? Trust me, if you open any social media or some funny websites now, there are stories there already of they will tell you, the 5 days there is because there's a doctor somewhere and all of that. At least thank God it's not France, because as soon as you just hear France, everybody
France
just goes
is it's anyway. We'll definitely would follow it if there's going to be an explanation about it. But moving on from that quickly, and let's go on to the federal government again. There's gist of the federal government and the NLC again. Now, the NLC is accusing the federal government of diverting 40% of funds from the NSITF, saying that they're giving them a 7-day notice before the strike.
Okay. And has the government responded?
No, they've not. Oh, no, they've not. This is the story.
Is there more on this story?
So basically, they're saying that the federal government is diverting funds, basically, from the NSITF. That's it.
Okay. And what is the NSITF for people who do not know?
Okay, please, 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
Because again, in speaking to this,
the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund.
Exactly. So, what are the things behind that fund?
So they're saying that there is no governing body, that the federal government should have constituted a governing body of the National Pension Commission. That a lot of these things, that's why, because there's no governing body of all these things, that's why they can easily just divert funds, and that there's the workers' funds are in the NSITF, and the federal government is diverting up to about 40% of these funds to do other things.
All right, it's a valid call by the Labour Congress. Although you would want, to quickly look and say Labour and strike, like, because they've not
I was
given
going to
you
say that is
a
there
chance
no
to strike.
can
So
we
you
have that
to look
conversation?
for one excuse or the other, But are they going to see something going bad and keep quiet about it because government has done good in some areas, and then when they see something bad, they should keep quiet? You understand? They owe it to Nigerian workers, so government should come out and explain, in clear terms, what exactly they've done with the monies, if it's true that they've been diverting funds from the NSITF. But from the look of things, some people also need holidays, so that's on the jocular side, because before you know it, 7 days warning strike, 14 days strike, 21 days this and that. But it looks like that business is almost gone in this country now.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I say business? It looks like that work tool is.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I've corrected myself.
Don't
it's
do
not
that.
business. Sorry.
Can we move on?
Stay there now.
Anyway, interestingly, there are quite a number of gist that we're going to be talking about today, but let's move on quickly and let's go to a bit of politics. Yeah, there's an interesting story. First things first, apparently there's a Canadian court that had ruled that the APC and the PDP are terrorist groups. So let me give you a gist of what happened. So there's a particular man that wants asylum in Canada, and I think he was refused, and then he appealed. And in the statement that was read by the judge and the reason why he was denied asylum, it was said that because he has affiliations with the APC and the PDP, and that they're terrorist groups in Nigeria. They have not come out to say that they do not understand what APC and PDP's business is with somebody's asylum suit.
So, Mr. Ewareba used to be a PDP member who moved to the APC at some point in time, and like Dolupo said, denied asylum. We can't ask people not to travel. We can't ask people not to immigrate or seek asylum self, because the fact that you don't feel you need asylum now does not mean that some people do not need it, because we can't judge based on our own personal situations.
Yeah.
Let me quickly digress. There's a video I saw of a journalist in Ghana, a broadcaster, who had gone on air to make claims against the president of Ghana as regards this recent plane crash that they had that took the lives of some top government officials. Yeah. So he was actually arrested, in broad daylight, and he was cuffed. I saw his people put some towel on the hand to cover the handcuffs and all of that. But they still cuff you now. And he was like, I'm the hero, and they took him away and everything. And I said, okay. A part of me as a journalist is like, why are they taking the journalists away? But the other part of me says that they've always told us, if in doubt, leave out. Yeah. Except he actually has proof of the culpability of the president or any government official in what has cost a lot of money in Ghana. You shouldn't go on air to say that.
To say those kind of things.
But that kind of guy now can now go and seek asylum in another country, and they will grant it, because they always feel like they are protecting us from our governments. There's this funny thing that I see. Maybe I'm the one that's not reading it well. So back to Mr. Iwareba, who tried to get asylum. I don't know what chased him from Nigeria. You never can tell. They are saying that the reason why we're not giving is because
his affiliations.
You were a member of these two political parties. Now, never ever, when I saw that story the first time, I just glossed over it. I'm like, this is a joke. I saw it last night. I said, this is a joke. This morning, more people had caught on to the story. And I'm like, oh, it's actually not a joke. There's a court in Canada that says Nigerian political parties are terrorist organizations. On what basis? That there's violence and this and that makes them terrorists. You see, at some point in time, African leaders will spare their people this embarrassment, this disgrace, this tagging You know, I do not support violence of any form, but you cannot sit in your country and just be, telling us how to run our own. But me, I don't blame you now, because some of the so-called leaders that we have in Africa will still go cap in hand to you people. I remember when they were pushing the rainbow agenda down the throats of Africa. It took a few African nations to put their foot down. And if you notice, they've kept quiet now. And at some point, they're like, we won't give you grants. You will give us grants so that, where's the sense in it? So, again, until Africa wakes up and starts to put things in the right place. I'm sure maybe some of these statements that I've made now, and I don't know what Dolupo is going to say, they can now come and say, oh, you are the one that was saying that. Well, me, I know they even come in our country, so we're going to hold up.
It's too cold, Let's see what's too cold.
We're going to hold the place.
Anyway,
but it's just, I think it's all shades of wrong that you can sit in your country and tag political parties in our own country as terrorist organizations.
The APC has replied. The APC National Secretary has called the presiding judge an ignoramus. His words, not mine. And that the court has no jurisdiction to determine the status of a Nigerian recognized political party, not to talk of declaring it as a terrorist organization. And when I actually did read part of the judge's statement, and in my head I'm like, it's okay if you don't want to give him.
Tell him you're not giving him because you don't even like his face.
It's okay not to give him. Let's look for something else too. Like, that's such a very silly excuse.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Silly is the right word by this Canadian judge and their court.
Yeah, I think it's really such a very silly excuse.
You see, reciprocal treatments. It's time we become reciprocal on virtually everything in this life.
Yeah, because like people are moving, you're moving cuckoo. Yeah. At this point. Anyway, still talking a bit of politics. Labour Party faction is now faulting Peter Obi for endorsing ADC candidates for upcoming by-elections. Please, I wanted to talk about, and I think that the ADC or the politicians that are moving to ADC need, it's a bit of confusing. What's it called? I think that there needs to be a bit more clarity. Why I said so is because I saw that there was talks of Peter Obi posting, this one of Peter Obi endorsing ADC candidates. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing El Rufai, who's, if I'm correct, supposed to be in ADC now, endorsing SDP candidates in Kaduna State. Like, when are you going to pick a struggle?
They're not going to pick a struggle. It's actually the tactics that they have decided to deploy. That's the entire game plan of this group of politicians. That's the plan, actually. It is called pulling a wiki, and where they are wrong is that it's not the same thing. So it's called pulling a wiki, and what they're trying to do is that, okay, well, if wiki can stay in PDP and work for APC, I can be in Labour and also work for ADC, and I can be in which other party, SDP. And so again, there's crisis within every party in Nigeria. Labour has its own. The Labour Labour Party leader that spoke, Abure, as another person that says she's the Labour Party leader, and they are okay with Peter Obi endorsing anybody from anywhere. So you see, that's the strategy. And according to Peter Obi's statement, because of the problem in Labour Party, which he has blamed the ruling party for, he has blamed the government for. Peter Obi has blamed the government for the crisis in Labour Party. He said because of all of that, is supporting all the ADC candidates. It was pictured with about one or two of them, you get. And I think one of the ladies that's contesting herself, he even took a picture with her and her kids and all of that. With her. So the thing there is, that's as clear as day on Peter Obi's side. But Abure, that used to be Obi's person in Labour Party, is saying that they have candidates in all those places that Obi
Labour
is also
Party as well.
endorsing the ADC. What this means, if we stay with the Peter Obi scenario, is that their
Peter Obi
votes
is now in ADC.
no, that their votes will be divided. It's obvious that ADC is the main party that they all want to use. It's very obvious. Yesterday, there's a quote that was ascribed to the chairman of the ADC, who is also a contentious situation, David Mark, that Nigeria should just give them a chance. And someone was like, you've been in Senate for like 1 million years. Which chance are you asking for?
What other chance
Again,
are you
every
for?
other one of you guys have been in government. You're not new, you know. So that's that.
He's
on
always
that
even
part.
worse. So was
Now,
not the one that
on
was
the side
a
of-
military governor.
Yes, it was. It was in the military before.
Okay.
Now, on the side of El Rufai went to the SDP and then the ADC. And like you said, endorsed here and there.
Wait, though, speaking of which, I had some stonings occurred.
Yes, and Remo yesterday.
I think even in Zaria too. They said some have also happened in Zaria.
Okay, so I know about I saw stories about the one in Remo where, you know, there's a federal seat that's up for grabs. The APC have a lady that's contesting. The PDP have a man that's contesting, and of course, the ADC also have another man that's also contesting. So, of course, being the leader of the ADC in the Southwest and the secretary of the party of the ADC, Aregbesola had gone there to campaign.
Yeah.
And apparently there's this belief that he is seen as a traitor, that he beat the hands that fed him, and of course a lot of people in that I just don't want to see him. This might not be a general consensus by the entire Yoruba race, but at least in Remo yesterday, they more or less chased him. They didn't want to have him there. Right about that time, the APC was having a mega rally.
Yeah.
And the day before, the PDP turnout too was not bad. It wasn't bad.
The funny thing is that if you
videos.
really look at, there's some states which I feel that is very common with the Southwest states. Yeah. Maybe you say that they're maybe a little bit more mature in the voting patterns. I think up until recently with what happened in Lagos, Lagos was the only place you can totally call that. And it seemed like at least the two major parties always have a very strong showing in every election.
Yeah, until the last one.
Like there was, it's very, they actually both have very strong structures in the Southwest.
So Nasser El-Rufai has called on all his supporters and his own structure that for everybody he endorses, they should vote for them. While the APC have also put out their own candidates and everything. But my own take out of this is that
the by-elections this weekend,
yeah, this weekend. And it's across Nigeria, in different parts of Nigeria. In Edo State, you know, the governor was a serving senator before he became governor. So
that's it.
He's trying to, of course, support the next APC person to win. Of course, the ADC and PDP and all of them also have candidates there to send someone to the Senate. So basically, what I see now is a litmus test. And it's not for the APC. It's for the ADC. This coalition that makes a lot of statements about how powerful they are and how, you know, a lot of people are still coming to join their party.
Yeah, and even for the PDP, I will also say
because
for the PDP. Let's
again,
see how
on paper,
defeated the PDP.
On paper, I think there's just one ADC official person that is an ADC card carrying member in the House of Reps.
Okay.
And he does not support this coalition.
Okay.
He doesn't support the coalition. He doesn't recognize them. So at this point, they need to put all these people in the House, and some of them are also going for the State House of Assembly, so that they can start saying, okay, now there's this number of, and that is when people start to take them
really
seriously. Like, oh,
seriously.
these guys actually have this strength that they have talked about. This is more of a test for the ADC. Also for Peter Obi, a former presidential candidate on the platform of the Labour Party, virtually every other election that has happened after that, every other person he has supported or endorsed has not won. So this is a litmus test for him too, that now that he has this ADC structure, which is a consolidated platform it's supposed to be a consolidated platform of the opposition, everybody he has endorsed now,
let's see what's going to happen
must actually win, because there are posters in Anambra where there's a woman that the governor Soludo of Abuja is supporting, and there's another person that Peter Obi has also endorsed, and there are posters like that side by side. So if Soludo takes it, they start to question the grassroots power of Peter Obi, and people start to say, is it just online that he has all the balls, or does he even have the boots on the ground? So this is a litmus test for the ADC, not necessarily the APC.
The APC. Okay, so we'll see. We definitely will follow that, and then by Monday, I'm sure that by Monday we'll have results, and then we can have like a very robust conversation about the results of all these matters. Anyway, remember that there was a conversation yesterday between the EFCC and the OOPL, Obasanjo Library, how that they had asked for compensation, how the EFCC had come to barge into the hotel and pick up a lot of people. Now the EFCC does not seem to be backing down, and is saying that they're arraigning 23 suspected internet fraudsters that were arrested at that hotel.
Yeah, so according to the EFCC, this is what they're saying, that they had gotten a tip-off about this party of alleged fraudsters who were celebrating the gains of their business. So what the EFCC is saying is that the party was supposed to take place at 2 other locations. You get, and because they knew that something could go wrong and they could be busted, they eventually settled for the OOPL. Now, why the OOPL? The OOPL belongs to the former president, who, of course.
So they thought that it could be.
So that's what the EFCC is saying. This is not me now. I'm just paraphrasing what they said. So at the last minute or something, they moved to that venue for the party, but the EFCC was on top of their game, and they went there and rounded virtually everybody up. And of those 90-something people that were said to have been arrested, I think it's about 90 plus people, they are taking about 23 or thereabout to court. You get that, taking them to court today. I'm sure by now they should be in court. And that's what they are saying. So it might just be that maybe the style of busting this place was completely wrong. I don't know how OOPL wants to justify the fact that really and truly about 20-something people,
23 people
who were having a party at their venue.
on your premises. Very, 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 very sad. Anyway, also moving on from that quickly, just wanted to put this out there. So I don't know if you remember a story that it said was a pastor was arrested in Rivers State yesterday, basically for
child abuse.
NAPTIP
Assault, batter.
has now come out to say that the parents of this child was actually defending the pastor.
I don't know who said religion is the opium of the people. A wise man once said that. It's funny how a religious person, a pastor, or an imam, or whoever can come and tell you that your child is evil, and they will go to beat the spirit out of the child, and you allow it. Do you understand? God forbid.
If those things are even true, aren't you supposed to pray?
God forbid. I always try to say, okay, if you're talking biblical, if you're talking Christianity, there has to be biblical references.
Yeah.
And terms of reference that are biblical. So
where did
I remember when Christ had said to some evil spirits to leave somewhere and go into some animals.
They were cast out.
And you know what happened to all those pigs? They actually died immediately. They were drowned.
The demons were cast out.
Mm-hmm.
They were not
beaten
out.
They were not beaten out or slapped out. What I see with religion in Nigeria, some Muslims do this thing I'm about to say, some Christians do it too, is that they have taken some background in traditional religion And not all traditional religions are doing what I'm about to say, but they've taken some of those things, some elements of it, and they've now brought their own voodoo-like thoughts
interpretation
and put it into it. Because again, like funny enough, if you watch the Isheshe people, I think they're one of the most peaceful people I've seen. You might not like their mode of worship, but if you really watch them and listen and study them, it's rare for them to get violent.
Your people don't have sense. That's it.
So,
and I think that
a pastor
we need to
claims that your child has evil spirit and he can beat your child up.
And I think that
are you defending the man?
It's high time we need to strengthen our child protective services in Nigeria. Why I said so is that in this kind of case that this child has been rescued, and with the way the parents are going on, I don't think that it's even safe for that child to be back in that kind of a house.
It is not. It is not. It is not safe at all. Poor child. Jokingly, we always say "kilo modemo" in Yoruba means what does a child know? And I do not, and there's nothing anybody can tell me that child is evil. And I don't see how that child will now survive in that house.
In that house, yeah, exactly. It's such a very, very sad situation. Now let's move on from that and let's move on to another aviation gist that's happened today, because I think that it's time to really set records.
Everybody's just waiting for Quam 3.
It's time to set records straight, especially when it comes to aviation, so that we don't carry too much stories. So there's news really and truly, and this is actually true, that British Airways actually dropped about 58 of its passengers that were going to, it was from Abuja to London flight. And now there's been a bit of conversation about it. In fact, people have said, they said the door was bad. They said, so, according to the, I think, NCAA, they're saying that what happened is that they realized that there were quite a number of seats on that plane that were not good for flying. So they told about 58 people to hold on, that they were going to pick them tomorrow. However, they have now offered hotel accommodation.
Standard.
That 30 people took it. 28 of them said they were going to go back home and come back. And they're also open for compensation as well.
Which they have to do.
Now, makes a lot of sense, and I think that is good for clarity's sake before we start carrying placard. But are we saying that you didn't know that the plane was not in perfect condition?
Okay, this is to the airline now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is just a coincidence, but I remember, the Star Alliance. They have the Star Alliance where a couple of airlines come together. So, for instance, if you are going to, for example now, you're going to London, you can fly through Spain to London. And on your return trip, it can just be straight to Lagos. So for instance, maybe this happened to someone in the past. I'm just saying, and you flew on this Spanish flight. I won't mention the brand. And it was interesting. The food was interesting. The service was interesting. Then you get to Spain and you have like a 5 or 6 hour layover. Then you now fly from Spain to the City of London airport. This happened to someone. I'm just saying. I didn't say it was me. Then you now see the plane that the British line, the British Airways, no, it was an airline. It's an airline from Britain. They brought a smaller plane, but man, super. You understand? Like, you're like, you can't compare this to the one that they used to carry those people that I'm talking about. Then the flight from London to Lagos also had a fantastic plane compared to the one from Spain. Then you're also looking at people who are going to Dubai and they have a layover in maybe Ethiopia, for instance, and the plane changes, you get, and you look at it, then you start to think like, wait, is it that it's only the bad planes that you people bring to Nigeria, allegedly? Or
because they're
is this
claiming
experience
that the doors was bad, so the seats by the doors are not good enough for people to sit by, and I'm like, you didn't know that.
I would opt out even if my seat was okay.
Don't worry, give me back my money.
Oh, come and pick me tomorrow. I'll could stay in a hotel free of charge.
Yeah, sleep, wake up, order everything.
I experienced it before. It was
order
nice.
everything.
But I know there's a lot of allegations that how foreign airlines bring not so great planes to Nigeria, and other routes that they fly, they bring better airlines. If this is true, we need the aviation regulatory bodies to also
really
look into these
it.
allegations.
Yes, I agree.
But I like the fact that they finally said, maybe this is a Quam 3 in making, and they decided to offer 58 or 57 people
58 people
a chance to not be Quam 3.
Yeah, at least we're finally getting a bit of respite, because in the past they'll just be dumped down and say, you know what,
my friend, get on that plane. Sit down there.
Yeah, nothing would happen.
Maybe it's just 6 hours.
So Abio, before you know it's mid-air, we just fly off. You fly away.
You just land in the bosom of.
You meet your ancestors, and you be very close to your ancestors.
That's how door will open suddenly. You say, hello, goodbye.
You meet your ancestors so close.
You land in the bosom of
of the Lord. You should stop playing with this thing. Oh my God, you're not a very good person.
Shout out to the airline.
Yeah, not a very good person.
And the NCAA.
To be on the show with. Can you imagine? What would you say? Anyway, moving on from that.
It could be like ejecting now. You're sitting to just.
And then you're ready.
Maybe they don't want those. Imagine 58 seats ejecting at the same time. Ping, 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 ping. It will be like musical chairs.
Please, we're moving on.
Maybe your chair will land in VIP. You're lucky.
VIP of what?
Of the plane now. First class. Your chair can.
Once you land, you're landed in the bosom of the Lord. Don't deceive yourself. Anyway, the Minister of Interior had made a very interesting revelation, where he had said that he had realized that 67% of the inmates in correctional facilities across the country are awaiting trial.
Look, these statistics, I agree with. You know, it's something that I know. There's a Nigerian artist. It's based in America now, Lamborghini. It was his thing. It was his calling. He used to go to prisons to perform for free, take people there, take food, and also help people get out of prison. And it was that period that we found out that some people are there for minimum fines that they couldn't pay after judgment. Mm-hmm. And you see 5,000, 10,000, 50. I'm telling you, as small as 20,000 naira has kept someone in prison for days. Now, when this minister came 2 years ago, he did something that I thought was going to be a constant.
So I don't want to say in his defense. Now, according to what they're saying now, according to him, is saying that the correctional centers, there's federal correctional centers, there's state correctional centers. That, however, there are more state correctional centers than federal correctional centers. And out of the inmates in Nigeria, 72% of them are state offenders. And it is out of those 72% that 67 of them are awaiting trial. So now they're saying that that states are dumping a lot of people awaiting trial without moving on. However, he's now saying that the president had said that he doesn't want to hear about the conversation of states or federal, that the prisons need to be decongested. And according to him, he said that in July alone, that they had released about 4,550 offenders.
Please let them not be the hardened criminals. Look, there's a solution that we've provided here. And clearly, there is a slowdown on the part of the judiciary. Mm-hmm. If someone is awaiting trial, that means they are waiting for the courts to call them.
Yep.
I was talking to someone yesterday, and we're talking about how, it took him 7 months to evict a tenant that had refused to pay as a salary rent for about a year or two. It took him 7 months. That's an additional 7 months. And you would spend money on lawyers and everything. So if that civil matter took 7 months, just rent matter, how long would other more serious matters that require investigations and other things take? What I'm trying to say in essence is that, can we move some courts to the prisons? It will cut out logistic issues and have sitting days where judges go in there and the prosecution and the defense are there and they have this mass, treatment of cases. If some of these people, we found out then, that time, that I know someone that was doing this prison ministry, we found out that the most grievous crime that any of these people could have committed, the highest punishment, some of them had actually spent more time than that. Like, for instance, maybe, for this crime is a 7-year maximum jail time. Some people have spent 10 years.
Yeah.
Awaiting trial for something that they will now be sentenced for 7 years. Do you understand? Then the judges will now look. Thank God for Nigerian judges. They're amazing. They will now look and say, this guy has actually done more than that, and then let him go. Sure you get. But when will the case be called? So that they can even know that this person has done 10 years for something that could be a 7-year jail term. I think everybody deserves their day in court. They have the right, to defend themselves or be defended. But we also need to overhaul the entire justice system. From the judiciary to even the correctional centers. We need to build newer prisons, bigger prisons, and that would at least give these human beings some level of sanity. You hear stories about how some prison was built to accommodate 500 people and now it has over 3,000 people. How are they living? The facilities, the stress on, the water, the drainage system, the sewage system, the feeding, even the spaces where they sleep in, no form of recreation. It's really just not right. And I was hoping that at the pace that the minister was going, the Minister of the Interior, at some point they'll be talking about maybe six mega correctional centers across 6 geopolitical zones. Start with that. And you build that in 12 months and another 12 months. So while you are even decongesting, you're also upgrading. Look at the jailbreak in Kebbi. Those guys just did and they left the prison because those prisons are old.
They're old. I get your point. Anyway, let's move on quickly and let's do a bit of sports before we get out. First things first, the football season is back. The NPFL is back. The English Premier League is back. The Ligue 1 is back. La Liga is back. Everything is back. And I think that this week's Premier League, I think, is starting today. And is with Liverpool and Bournemouth. I don't see Liverpool not winning today's game. Under
the lights, man. Liverpool finished the season strong. And sadly, they lost an integral part of their team. He had an accident with his brother. May his soul rest in peace. Number 20, Diogo Jota. However, with or without Diogo, I think Liverpool are still one of the strongest teams in Europe and in England in particular, because they also went ahead to get Jeremy Frimpong. They got Wirtz. They got about 2, and now they're still chasing Isak. This team is strong, and remember, they still have one of the best players out of Africa in the mode of Mohamed Salah.
I honestly think that the Premier League this season is going to be way more difficult, and why I said so is your usual top 6 teams have done really well in the market this season. A lot of times, I think we see a lot of movement in the market at the tail end. I don't think we will have that kind of rush this season.
Please, let's have at least that
gist. I don't think there'll be
transfer deadline day drama,
because a lot of people they really did go to the market really early and they did their business, which makes a lot of sense. So we're going to be seeing a lot of new faces from the minutes the season starts. Today there's Liverpool and Bournemouth at 7 p.m. Aston Villa, Newcastle at 11:30 p.m. tomorrow. And I think tomorrow's games for me...
PM or AM? Should be AM, I think. Tomorrow.
PM. Sorry, AM. Sorry, AM.
Since it's Saturday.
Yes. Aston Villa, Newcastle, 11:30 a.m. Brighton, Fulham, Sunderland and West Ham, Tottenham and Burnley, Wolves and Man City at This is all at 4:30
on Saturday.
And on Sunday, I think this one is actually a must watch. These games.
It's Super Sunday actually.
We have Chelsea Crystal Palace. I think it's going to be
fantastic football.
They're just coming off winning the what's it called, Community Shield, so they're going to be on a high. Chelsea just won the Club World Cup. I think it's going to be a very fantastic.
They've done some good business in the market.
Yeah, they both have. Nottingham Forest and Brentford, they're not teams that, if we go by what happened last season,
those guys,
it's not.
They're not pushovers.
It's definitely going to be a cracker.
And Nottingham has done some good business too.
Yeah, and now also, and those.
I think they're about to get Omari Hutchinson too.
Yeah, maybe we'll see. We'll definitely see that. Those games are all happening at 1 p.m. West African time on
Sunday.
And at 3:30, and I think this is one game a lot of people are looking forward to. I think that anytime United and Arsenal play, it's one game that everybody wants to watch. Interesting way for that game the start of the season.
It's a very, very, very good fixture for the Premier League, but not great for those two teams because you'd have wanted maybe something that was less stressful.
Yeah.
But if you look at the way Arsenal finished last season and look at the way Man United finished last season, then look at the way they both performed in the market and in preseason. But at times, preseason will throw you off.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, including our very own Cornelius here, who is you can't see on the camera though, who has already predicted that Arsenal is winning the league. And if Arsenal is going to win the league this season,
it has to start from tomorrow.
It starts from day one.
Yes, it definitely has.
Because
everybody is.
You look at the
up.
potential winners. The potential winners in my own book: Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, and Arsenal. Those four teams for me are the teams that have the potential to win this new season that starts tonight. And
so the competition is going to be fair.
And they will all have played.
Yeah.
Before that game.
So
Arsenal must stay abreast of everything, or a bosom of everything.
Oh my God.
They must be in a place where
and then Monday.
They must be in a place where they have to win. In the case of United, they've done some good business. They have Shesko, they have Kunya and Mbomo. But there's still something lacking in that team. That's why they are going after Carlos Baleba, the Cameroonian guy. And it's not going to be easy for them if they don't do good business for their midfield. They have Ugarte and Casemiro, but it won't be like. And that's where Arsenal's strength lies. Is it that midfield that they need Baleba? Arsenal already has it.
Yeah.
They already have the strength. So if Arsenal win United on Sunday, it's United picking up from where they left off. That's what it is, because all they have is they've only had 4 weeks. If you look at it, it's just 4 weeks. So you don't expect a team that was 15th because they bought 3 players. They will now just magically become a top contender.
But we definitely will see what's going to happen on Sunday. And Monday, the match day 1 is going to end on Monday with Leeds and Everton.
Leeds are a team with pedigree, and a lot of people don't expect them to go back so soon. But they're coming up against another team that will not allow them say, they're going to do like a welcome to the Premier League or welcome back.
So definitely we'll see where all that is going to come from. Also, just wanted to put it out there, like I had said earlier, the Nigerian Premier Football League is also starting in a couple of days. It's starting August 22nd, according to the fixtures, and it's supposed to end in May of next year as well. So that is also happening. But before we leave, the D Tigers are playing as we speak.
Yep.
It's halftime already, and and a lot of people, I think this was a very major litmus test, was because they're playing the defending champions and they're playing a 3-time winner in Tunisia. But as we speak, the first quarter, they ended with Nigeria beating Tunisia 29-16. The halftime ended with Nigeria leading 48-33. So it's safe to say the D Tigers are having a great game. And
it's a must win for them. They have to win this game. These guys are putting a whole lot.
Just an update now. The third quarter results of the third quarter just came in. and they're leading 68-47.
Yeah,
So
but
just
I want a blowout. I want them, to show the world that what a woman can do, a man can also do.
This is looking really very fantastic. In fact, this gap is a lot more than what they played with Madagascar. It was
and the Tunisian team is a stronger team.
It's a very, very strong team. Let's not say, but I'm fingers crossed that they're done with this one. This gap is very fantastic. That's a 21 point gap already. If they can keep it up, it will be fantastic for them. But anyway, on that note, I think that finally I wanted to just point it out actually that not the chairman, the DG of the National Sports Commission had come out to say that there's a bit of a delay, but there's work ongoing with the monies that are supposed to be paid to the Super Falcons, but that all their bonuses have all been paid, that anybody that has not gotten all the bonuses...
It's not the same. Please, no soft landing for this kind of system. The reason why I'm saying this is that, I've been in sports reportage for a couple of years now, if not decades. And do you know that, for instance, the promises that were made to the people who won Nations Cup in the 80s were not fulfilled until 20-something or 30-something years after? We can't have this. Please, next time you want to make a promise, keep the money on standby. Collect their account numbers and let them be as they are living Aso Rock, like they get baga.
So it said, according to him, it says that it's going to get paid very, very soon.
Please,
but
sir.
And they are also working with. This is just that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to. I know these people one-on-one. I know Bukola Olokpade one-on-one. I know them. I'm just, and it's not his fault. I'm saying
that the Ministry of
I'm speaking to the president.
Housing is already working on their apartments, and they're going to also get that as soon as possible. So just wanted to put that out.
I'm just saying, y'all knew you were going to give them money, right? If you don't have the money, say next month we announce what we want to give you. Don't say we're giving you $100,000 or 150 million naira. And you're not giving them because you're not even giving them dollars. You're giving them naira anyway. So you should have done your appropriations ahead.
CBN should look for the naira to give them.
Paid now. Credit their accounts now.
Anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on the bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back on Monday to give you all the gist, a lot of updates from elections to football updates. Monday is actually going to be very fun, really. So catch us then at 3 p.m. West African time. See you. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend.